Cafe, the book lovers rendezvous, where the topics are priceless and the conversation is free. With me is here today is my co-host Lee Lynn from the Ridge Books in Calhoun, Georgia. Hey Lee,
Good morning.
good morning. You and I are carrying the show this week. You've got a big segment on Joel Chandler Harris,
Yes.
and we're also going to have segments from Richard Morey. Oh, this guy's a hoot. I'll tell you what. Richard on the road. Richard has been traveling once again in New England to an antique fair. We finally have his call in video with the mysterious Lee.
We need to, yeah, the mysterious Dr. Seuss puzzle.
The
And we
mysterious.
need to put a GPS tracker on Richard.
He's been a little hard to get a hold
He
of.
has.
All right. So as you can probably tell and has heard for the last couple of weeks, we're pre-recording this show so that, especially here during the summertime, we can get out there and enjoy ourselves post-pandemic. But it doesn't look like it is quite post-pandemic yet, is it, Lee?
And not around here, it's not.
Not here either. I'm actually hiding in a hotel lobby with my mask off. Out here in Oregon, we've got mask mandates, and I'm not supposed to be doing this, but it was the
Well,
only
here in
place I could
Georgia,
find with a Wi-Fi connection.
we need more mask mandates here in Georgia.
Yeah, well, there's no school kids around. Anyways, folks, we're going to drop this show at 12:30 Eastern Daylight Time on Saturday, and that's 5:30 Greenwich Mean Time. And another one of our favorite guests, Lee, this week we got a couple of emails at rarebookcafe@gmail.com telling us how much they like things found in books with our good friend out in Orange Books, California.
That's good. Richard finds some really interesting things, and we really need for our viewers to start sending Richard some more things. He likes to hear from everybody out here, and we'll feature your items if you'll send him an email and pictures. He'll be glad to feature those.
I bought a book this week just so I could have to send him. I was doing an account call at the Clatskanie Library. They called me in to take a look at some books. And there was one book, and in the front of it was a 3x5 type note signed by the author to the person that he dedicated the book to.
Oh, well, that's neat.
Yeah, and I love when I find those things, so I'm going to send that on down to him.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Who else? But the big guest this week is my favorite, Rick Wilbur from Central Florida. Rick is a author, a historian, a raconteur, a writing professor, a fabulous dad with a wonderful son. And Lee, we've had some good conversation for this weekend, don't we?
Yes, we have. And listening to Rick talk about Field of Dreams and his father, and watching the broadcast last week was really interesting. He is such a baseball lover that you can't help but respond to what he says. You- it's he gets almost sentimental about it sometimes, I think.
He does.
Uh,
You can feel that in his voice.
yeah, yeah.
As a matter of fact, he just published a short story with baseball legend Mo Berg. I believe that was in Science Fiction magazine this
It's
month.
in Isaac Asimov's science
Isaac,
fiction magazine. Yeah, the
Isaac Asimov Science Fiction magazine, September
October
issue.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah. So what a Renaissance man Rick is.
he is, and his science fiction. I recently have read Alien Morning and Alien Day, and I'm really looking forward to the third book of that. Assuming there's going to be a third book.
He says there's going to be.
He says
Are you
there
a
is.
baseball fan, Lee? Do you follow the Atlanta Braves?
Some. It kind of depends on how the Braves are doing. But the Braves are certainly our team up here.
Yeah.
They
Well,
are.
whoever gets into the World Series this year, there's no question that the Field of Dreams game that was played out in Iowa week before last, will be the highlight of this year's baseball season.
It will be. I told Rick when we were talking to him, I kind of wished at the end that the baseball players had just disappeared into the cornfield. That would have been a really nice touch.
And he's got some great commentary on W.P. Kinsella, the great Canadian author who wrote the books.
Right.
Yeah. Isn't it great that a Canadian is writing best-selling books about our national pastime?
Well, they're Canadian baseball teams.
Well, that's right. They got the
Yeah.
Toronto Blue Jays
Yeah.
and I think is that the only team?
Montreal.
Blue Jays?
Does Montreal have a team?
Montreal.
Still have a team?
No, I don't think so anymore. Shame on me. I don't think so. I think it's just the Blue Jays. Uh-oh.
So-
Our Canadian listeners will be sending
we'll
their
hear from them. We will
Well,
hear from them.
let's hear from all of you at rarebookcafe@gmail.com. What else we got on the show this weekend?
Well,
Lee?
I'm doing a segment on Joel Chandler Harris and the Uncle Remus stories, and a little bit about Harris's life as a journalist, and talk a little bit about controversy surrounding the Uncle Remus stories. And
I have been thinking about that a lot since we taped that segment, Lee. I have to tell you, the consequences of whether or not what he did was right in the context of the times, or even in the context of history.
well, I think the argument that these tales would not have been preserved if someone had not done it. And I know that in complaining about him, Toni Morrison said that she had heard the Tar Baby tale in her family, but would it have been preserved like it has been, you know, in the popular culture if Harris had not done what he did? And it's not just him, but another Georgian, Charles C. Jones, did Negro Myths of the Georgia Coast, which are mostly Gullah tales. And
Right.
I think the same argument applies, that these are tales that should have been preserved, and you know, whoever did it did a service. Just as people like the Lomaxes preserved blues music from the Mississippi Delta, you know, all of this culture needs to be preserved, and I think that.
Well, that's the side that I landed on.
And
Lee,
that's kind of where, and you know, maybe
we're not passing judgment; we're just preserving
as
history.
a white Southerner, I'm wrong. You know, maybe so, but that's certainly the way I feel about it. One thing I didn't mention.
Well, as a white male, I'm wrong. I guarantee.
Well, I'm wrong a lot, but one thing I didn't mention on Saturdays that I did not mention on the upcoming show is that I talked a little bit about his inferiority complex at being illegitimate and a redheaded Irishman. I think he never got over this, and he did a lot of his work even for the Atlanta Journal at home. He drank a lot. Two contributing factors to his death were kidney disease and cirrhosis of the liver, and so he, you know, I think the opinion you get of him is from the stories is he's kind of a happy-go-lucky guy, you know, and this kind of thing. But I don't think that was really the case. But he was an interesting man, and his reputation as a journalist and as a supporter of equal rights kind of falls by the wayside, you know, in the light of the Uncle Remus stories.
Yeah. Well, folks, that's just a sneak peek, a little snippet pitch-it of what you're going to hear on our show on Saturday. That, along with a segment, Richard Morey on the road, David Hess from Orange Books in Orange County, California, with things found in books, and of course our guest speaker this week, Rick Wilbur, author, raconteur, baseball man, and overall good guy. We'll see you there, Lee.
All righty, see you tomorrow.
And here we go to the music. Bum, 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 bum.